Hey there, Wastelanders, and welcome back to War Games News Radio for a very special episode in which you and I are going to be going on a bit of a digital scavenger hunt together in the form of a sneak peek look at the upcoming Commonwealth Wave for Fallout Wasteland Warfare. Now, as of the filming of this video, the New Vegas wave for the game is about to start coming to a close, so I've decided to take a look at what's coming up next, and that's going to be a return to the Fallout 4 style setting with the Commonwealth Wave, which we can expect to see starting sometime around the end of 2021 in and around the holiday season. Now, if you watched my New Vegas reveal interview with John Webb and James Sheehan, then you probably already know that we can expect to see the Railroad and the Gunners factions show up in this upcoming wave. But a few weeks ago, John released this image. And here you can see about 24 different snippets of various models from the upcoming wave. Now, this teaser image here got the internet speculating as to what these units might be, so I've decided to take a closer look at this crazy collage here and use your comments from Facebook posts, Discord threads, and the Modiphius forums and elsewhere to try to put together this puzzle and see exactly what units we're looking at here. Some of these pictures are pretty straightforward and dead giveaways. Other ones are a little bit more tricky to try to figure out. So let's you and I unpack this together and see what we can't see out of this teaser. Let's take a look. We've got a lot of ground to cover here, so I'm gonna rapid fire through some of these comments. First up is a pretty lengthy comment from Sean Street on Facebook. I see Glory, a child of Adam, a gunner, Proctor Ingram, Mirelurk eggs, a construction Protectron, the beer dispenser Protectron, hallucinogen canisters, a Yao Gwaii, and a new T-45 suit. So first off, I see Glory. I think that's pretty obvious which one we're looking at here, and that's gonna be this photograph. And yeah, I've got to agree with Sean on that one. That looks a lot like the ever-loving Railroad heavy synth Glory to me. I can expect that Glory's probably got a minigun that she's toting in this model sculpt. If I had to throw any money down on it, she uses one in Fallout 4, so I'd imagine it's probably a heavy weapon of some kind, but it could be something else as far as the sculpt goes. We know that the game isn't WYSIWYG, but I'm pretty sure if that's what we're talking about there. I see Glory. I think you're right. Next up, a child of Adam. A child of Adam. There's a couple ones that I think that this could be pertaining to. Either this photograph here, in which we see this weird colander thing on what looks to be like a chess piece or something along those lines, and looking at some concept art and some in-game photographs and screenshots of Fallout 4. I'm pretty sure that's what we're looking at here is a child of Adam. It could also be this one here with what looks like a knee sort of down, sort of praying, and these glowing radioactive canisters, which I think is also in this post referring to the hallucinogen canisters, which you can find in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. Mark Tipler also put their vote in for Child of Adam. So yeah, I think there's something to be said here. A lot of folks are going on the Children of Adam train. So that would be interesting if these were indeed Children of Adam, because there's a couple other people who weighed in on that as well. Ali Pally commented Children of Adam as well on the photograph, so I'm pretty sure that they might be right. Douglas Parkinson also chimed in with a Children of Adam vote. So yeah, I think it's probably safe to say that either one or maybe both of those sculpts could be Children of Adam. Continuing on with this post from Sean Street, we have the guess of a gunner. Now I'm going to go ahead and surmise that it's probably this photograph that they're making reference to. We've got some combat armor, what look like some military fatigues, and probably a laser rifle. So that stacks up to me as being a gunner, and a couple other people chimed in on that as well. But it could also be in reference to this photograph here, but I'm more willing to bet that Douglas Parkinson was right when they guessed that this is Clint of the Gunners. So this could be two different Gunner sculpts. We know that we're going to see a couple different editions and starting boxes for this faction, so could be Gunners. Not sure what we're looking at here. This could be Gunner related because a couple Gunner named characters, including Clint, use power armor, and this appears to be a T-45 power armor right leg. Hard to say on that one, or it could be a new Raider model sculpt. That would be pretty cool. Or maybe it's just, you know, a beat up set of T-45, a new sculpt to use. Either way, that would be kind of cool. A possibility that maybe they're talking about this photograph here with this rifle, what looks to be a rifle anyway, in the crook of someone's arm, but I'm probably gonna go with Astral on this one and say that that is Deacon, one of my favorite followers from Fallout 4, and yeah, it's probably a safe bet. The sort of shirt and the rifle seem to match up with his sort of generic appearance when he's not in disguise, so I think Astral is spot on there that this might be our man undercover Deacon himself. Proctor Ingram, interesting guess, because a couple people have guessed that as well, and referring to this photograph here. Now this one is, it actually got me stumped at first too. I thought, oh no, it's just a, you know, a power armor frame. It could be just an empty power armor frame, which very well could be the case, but people started speculating online that this was indeed Proctor Ingram from Fallout 4. We know that there's going to be a box of Protectron variant models coming out, as well as some Mr. Handy model variants coming out as part of this wave, and I think it's safe to say that we've nailed down a couple of the variants here. We've got Sean guessing Construction Protectron. I'm willing to put some money that this is the sculpt he's talking about here. We also have a guess of Firefighter Protectron, and I think that that's probably going to match up with this red, what looks like a Protectron hand laser here. I think that that's going to be some of the Protectron variants, but we also had a guess for Beer Dispenser Protectron, and I'm having trouble coming up with which model that might be. Maybe it's this construction-y looking yellow one here. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but would be kind of cool. Now, Douglas Parkinson also did a good job at breaking down some of the robots that we see in this teaser here. We've got one guess of Whitechapel Charlie with the what appears to be a Mr. Handy with a bowler hat, and Whit Sullivan chimes in on that one too. And we also have this snippet here, which looks to be the bottom arms of a Mr. Handy unit, but if you look really close, it looks like they're painted white. Now, John has all but confirmed that we will see a Miss Nanny model of Mr. Handy variant, and also a Mr. Gutsy, which I don't actually see anything in this collage to indicate that the Mr. Gutsy version has appeared here, unfortunately, because that's like my favorite Mr. Handy. But there's also one guess that this might be Curie from Fallout 4, who is a Miss Nanny variant of Mr. Handy. Also one guess that really got a lot of mileage was the Pack Brahman, and I believe that that's going to be in reference to this photograph here, which I think they're probably spot on with that, which is curious because we've had a Brahman card for a little while in Wasteland Warfare, thanks to the Into the Wasteland expansion of the game, but we've yet to see the actual model. In my New Vegas reveal interview, John did mention Brahman in there as well, so I think that the internet's probably pretty close to the mark that this is going to be a Pack Brahman or maybe a caravan cart of some kind. So good sleuthing there, folks. I think you're probably spot on with that one. Now, another guess that I saw a lot of users put in was Yao Gwaii. Now, I think that that's in reference to this photograph here that looks pretty gross and gnarly when you zoom it in. This looks to me like sort of that brownish, blackish, purplish Yao Gwaii skin you see sometimes in at least Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, and I also think that it probably fits the bill considering we've seen another picture that people have guessed Yao Gwaii on before. So if you look at this photo that John put out a few months back now, I think that it's probably a safe bet to say that we're gonna see some Yao Gwaii coming up. There has also been a Yao Gwaii card for a little while, again thanks to Into the Wasteland, and there might be one in Denizens of the Wasteland as well, I can't remember. At any rate, there is a Yao Gwaii card, so it would be awesome to see that model get some play because I love the big monsters in this game, but there's just quite not enough of them. Now, speaking of big monsters, there was another guess online that got a lot of play, and that's a new sculpt of a Deathclaw and also Deathclaw eggs, and I think that that's referring to these two photographs here. When you look at the in-game art of Deathclaw eggs, yeah, I think that's a similar enough enough match. And when looking at these talons here, yeah, that looks pretty claw-y, and those claws look pretty death-like to me. So it could be a sculpt for the Deathclaw matriarch, which I guess would fit with the egg guess here as well, but it could be something entirely different. It may not be a Deathclaw at all. Now, keeping with big scary monsters, we got at least one vote for Behemoth. Now, I'm assuming that it might be this. This looks like super mutant skin to me here, and yeah, looks pretty large and monstrous, but it could also be whatever this little snippet is here, and I'm kind of inclined to think that it may be Behemoth-like, but there was at least one guess I saw out there saying that this might be Swan, which if you've played Fallout 4, then it's probably guaranteed that you've encountered Swan at least through one playthrough, and that would be wild. There is, again, a Swan card out there and yet to be a model released, so yeah, that would be pretty cool. Behemoths to begin with are pretty unstoppable, so yeah, I can only imagine. Kami Crazy posted on Discord saying that they think that this here is the boot and railway rifle of Desdemona, leader of the railroad, and I'm willing to say that that's probably a safe bet. And if that's her, she is standing on top of what looks like a Freedom Trail marker from Fallout 4, so I think Kami might have hit the nail on the head with that one. So it looks like we might have 2, possibly 3 guesses as to some of our railroad members. Now, we've only got a few left, and one of these is, I think, a dead giveaway, and that's this one here, which that's a mongrel. That's a mongrel dog. I mean, I don't think it takes much guessing or sleuthing to figure that one out, but it does also look to be glowing green a little bit around the face. So yeah, could be a model to use for the Alpha Glowing Mongrel card from Into the Wasteland. Could just be a generic pack of mongrel dogs. Now, the big head scratcher in this list, at least for me, is this picture here, and that I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. Could be a different model or sculpt for one of the feral dogs or the mongrels, but both myself and Whit Sullivan seem to think that this looks a little bit like a Night Stalker from Fallout New Vegas. These things are super weird, and they were a super fun enemy to fight in New Vegas, and it would be kind of cool if they made an appearance in the game. There's a couple reasons that I think that this looks like a Night Stalker. Number one is the tail, like it kind of has this little rattlesnake sort of vibe to it. Also, the background of this photograph looks to be like a desert sort of terrain, which is sort of would make sense with New Vegas and the desert sort of look. But it looks to me like a Night Stalker, but it could very well easily be something far less sexy and just be, you know, the tail end of a mongrel dog. And last on this list is a very interesting one that I can't seem to wrap my head around. Is this one here? I can't really tell what we're looking at. Is this? It could be part of the pack Brahman, could be part of a super mutant. I don't know. Could be, I guess. Hard to say. If it is, I can't really tell what part it would be. Was that like is it like the upper chest maybe, or the back? I don't know. This one's a real puzzler for me. So a lot to unpack in this Commonwealth teaser, but I think you folks did a great job online zeroing in on what some of these units might be. Of course, we'll have to wait until the Commonwealth Wave officially launches to see how close your guesses really were, but I think we should start hearing some news about what to expect as far as units and rollout in and around November 2021. So stay tuned, we'll let you know what we know when we know it. But until then, if you like the content that you're seeing on WGNR, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can find us on Instagram, Reddit, and we even have a Discord server if you want to join the conversation about the game. And if you really want to support the channel, then make sure you visit us on Patreon or Streamlabs, where you can get some exclusive rewards in exchange for donations, and you can even pick up some WGNR merchandise should you so choose. So thank you again so much for watching, and stay tuned. Until next time, WGNR will be back.